Welcome everyone to Guy and Helmer, unfiltered, but always a bit filtered. I am your host, as always, Alex Helmer. Joined by me today is the great comedian, writer, Guy Knoll. Guy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Alex. And today with us, we have Sully Streams and the real quick critic.
Not the fake critic, the real one. We got him today. We almost got his doppelganger, unfortunately, but it was a whole mess.
Who is his doppelganger?
The fake quick critic. Look at the big brands on the host. Guys, though, seriously, we have two great guests today. Sully, we're going to go to you first. Sully, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. For better or for worse, last week I saw a guy said that Chris from Movies and Munchies was his favorite guest to have on here. So I sprinted to my DMs to make sure I'm booked on the next time slot. No, I love Chris, but happy to be here. Some good movie news going on. So I'm glad to be here on this episode.
And the quick critic.
You're equally favorite, too.
Likewise, man. Happy to be here today. There's a lot of good news coming out, and Mandalorian is my jam. So yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
And before the show, not to expose Guy or anything, but before the show started, we were talking about Guy had always wanted the quick critic on the show.
I do.
He was his favorite guest that he needed to bring on.
Yeah.
And,
appreciate you, Guy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you three. Chris,
you three, okay.
Sully,
You're really limiting the amount of guests that we can have on the show.
I making it less special? Yes. But I like all three equally.
That's true. How can you not? But guys, though, we have some great movies.
And then right under that, on YOLO movie reviews.
Right under that. But seriously, guys, some great movie news, bringing you guys some great releases, a bunch of trailers that two big trailers we're going to talk about, some TV. So the biggest TV show of the year just came out for the first episode, so we're going to talk about that a bit. But first, we're going to talk about something unfortunate that happened yesterday evening. It was really, really unfortunate that it happened. And violent kind of instant that it was violent. The 38-7 win for the Eagles over the Giants yesterday. For context, I was at a pub yesterday in New York City. I had to get there really early because I wanted to see the game. So I was there at 3:00. The game started at 8, so I was there for 5 hours beforehand, especially because there was a game before that. So I wanted to get a chair seat and everything because it's a busy place. And then I wound up leaving at halftime because it was 20-0 at halftime.
You're doing sports today.
And I just wanted to bring this up because I know there are a lot of New Yorkers, not just obviously in the league, who watch the show, and then just in general in the country. So I just wanted to bring this up because it is a delight, and it was the highlight of my week. I don't know, QC, Sully, if you guys are fans of the National Football League, but this was a sublime victory, and Super Bowl, here we come. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm a big football fan, and I was at a pub last night with both an Eagles fan and a Giants fan, and it got a little ugly. So,
and then QC, you're a Patriots fan, right?
I am, big time.
Oh, my man, I am too.
All right. Well,
New England, born and raised, right here. So.
Same.
Yeah. Nice, yes, last week we talked about munchies, right? And today we're talking about sports. So, Guy and Helmer Unfiltered doesn't say specifically that
we're a variety show.
We are a variety show.
Yeah,
Guy, that doesn't mean you get to talk about comedy here, okay? And then obviously, I don't know. I don't watch foreign football, but Luke,
we'll just take his word for it, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're gonna move on now for our first real movie topic of the day, the film Missing the follow-up to the 2018 film Searching, starring John Cho. Now, Sully, you were the only one of us four who got the chance to see this film in theaters. First, what are your thoughts on Searching, and how did it kind of motivate you to see its sequel, and what do you think of the sequel as well?
So I actually really enjoy Searching. It was kind of like one of the first of those, I guess they call it now, like the screen life genre of filmmaking, where it's kind of like all takes place on a laptop or a phone or something that has a camera attached to it, basically. Yeah. And I thought it ended up being I like good mysteries, especially when they can surprise me a bit. And that one was pretty unorthodox, and I thought it came together pretty well in the end. Definitely enjoyed it. When Missing was, hitting the rounds with its trailer, and people knew it was coming out I didn't know if that movie Searching really needed this like kind of branch off second movie because we kind of already saw it. And I don't know. I thought that was a style of filmmaking that would get kind of stale, but Missing surprised me. I liked it. I think Searching's still a better movie. Uh, the big problem I think I have with both of these is it's hard to get rewatchability with a mystery in general that like hinges on big twists and stuff if you're going back into it and already know how it's going to all unfold.
True.
And I think that this style of filmmaking, because it's like a little gimmicky and it's kind of a novelty, I think the rewatchability for both of those movies, even though I like Searching a lot, is pretty much zero for me just because of, I don't know, I just don't have a desire to revisit them. But I thought it was pretty good. I saw it with a packed crowd. It was actually one of those Regal Mystery Monday movies. So it was like I just went to it. I didn't even know what the movie was going to be. Like I had guessed it was going to be Missing, and then it ended up being that. But I enjoyed it. It was definitely better than I was expecting. Not as good as Searching, but I think it's still worthy. If you like kind of like these mystery things and you're not bored with that style of like screen life filmmaking yet, I think it's worthy of someone checking it out.
Yeah, and it's great audience score, great Rotten Tomatoes score from critics as well. So people are really liking it. Do you think it's going to get a third film?
I don't know. I mean,
it's really cheap to make, I imagine.
It has to be.
Yeah,
I'm sure like the bulk of the budget is the main actor salary, but I don't know. Because they subverted my expectations and the second one was solid. I feel like I'd have to say that I would see a third one. So.
Yeah.
Is this a direct sequel to Searching?
No, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't want to say that it's in the SCU, if you will, the cinematic, the Searching cinematic universe, but it's just, I literally think it's only linked because it's done in this screen life type of manner. I don't think there's really any other link.
The same people are behind both.
Same people are behind it, yeah, but I didn't see any link between the two movies.
And I'd also, Sully, like to wish you the best wishes because I know Regal has been having its troubles recently in terms of a bunch of its locations closing. So if you don't have an AMC near you, I'd like to pre-apologize if something bad winds up happening.
You don't have to apologize to me. I'm actually very fortunate. Within where I live right now, I'm like in a 5-mile radius of the AMC I've always gone to, the Regal, Showcase Cinema, and my favorite indie cinema, which is Coolidge Corner Theater, which is right near me. So yeah, I mean, I'm good to go.
Movie Theater Central over here.
If the Regal goes down, I'll shed a tear, but I'll press on. So
yeah. All right, guys, we're going to move on now to our next topic. So we're going to talk about some TV releases that we got over the course of the week. We're going to save let's be honest, the better one for just a bit later. But first, we're going to talk about The Bad Batch episode 4. Talk about this every week. I don't know why. I don't know if any of you actually care about The Bad Batch, but we're going to talk about it nonetheless because when we first started the show, it's for nostalgia's sakes almost. Me and Guy love talking about The Bad Batch, right, Guy?
Yeah, I haven't even seen it, but I want to talk about it.
It's one of those things where I'm the biggest Star Wars fan ever, but I haven't been able to get behind the animated stuff, and I know it's good.
Interesting.
What do you mean? Do you mean even the Clone Wars?
I've watched the Clone Wars enough, but certainly haven't watched it like front to back, and I've never watched an episode of The Bad Batch, and I'm not proud of that because, like I said, I'm a huge Star Wars guy. The animated stuff hasn't really spoken to my soul.
Definitely I'd try out the Clone Wars. You don't even have to. You can skip like season 1. It's a really great show. The Bad Batch, you could probably skip it. First season, like Guy and I really didn't like last season. Second season, Clone Wars season 1 wasn't great, but then the rest of the series wound up being great. So there was still some hype there on my front. And episode 3 was really good because the Bad Batch weren't in it. It was an episode all about the Crosshair, who's not a member of the Bad Batch anymore. So, but episode 4 went back to the Bad Batch, and it wasn't as good. It was a weird throwaway episode, which is my problem with this series. That there's so many throwaway episodes. Would
you say it was bad?
It was bad. I would say so. Yeah.
Signing off.
Not inspiring confidence, Alex, about the show.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm marketing it a lot more than most YouTubers are. So
I know.
So it's something.
I think. And by the way, I just want to say, Swank, much respect to you for like actually trying to watch the cartoons. because there's some people that it drives me nuts when people are like, I'm a big Star Wars guy. I've never watched any of the shows. And I'm like, then you're not. I'm sorry, you're not. If you've only watched the movies, shut the fuck up. And
You're not a true
Mandalorian.
fan. You're not a true fan unless you've seen the terrible Vespa chase in
You
the
have to
Book
see
of Boba
that.
Fett.
It's got, but you have to see the Clone. You have to see these things, man. You even have to watch like at least one episode of Rebels. Like, frankly,
I liked. Well, I saw the first 2 seasons of Rebels.
yeah, we know you like that. There's a problem. But like, anyway, as I was saying, my thing is that, you got to watch. Like, this is why. Look at Swanka. Swanka watched the show. And I'm not calling anybody out in particular here. But there are fans in the fandom.
Did he watch it? I'm the one who watched it here.
There are people in the fandom. There are people in the fandom that
Just let him cook.
Only get to watch the movies and not the shows. You have just as much of a mandate to watch those fucking shows as me.
I did watch the shows.
Not you. I'm talking to the audience at home. You have to. I'm sick and tired of hearing people.
You like Swanka. You like Swanka, who's watched like one episode.
I'm sick of hearing people not know who Captain Rex is when they say they're a Star Wars.
If we left this show right now, Guy would have no idea.
No,
You just keep going. Keep going.
All right, I will, but I'm sick of it, and I think, like, you know what? And we're gonna be talking about Mandalorian season 3 later, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, those of you who don't watch, who say they're fans but don't watch the shows, Gall, all right, watch it.
Shout out to Gall, because I feel like Gall and I we disagree on everything, but it was still great.
Get in line.
So I don't think I really got it. Do you think it's important to watch the shows?
I think it is. I think it's important. I think it's important.
Write it down. Anyways, about the actual episode, because it was basically about it was a throwaway episode. It was like a side mission episode, and I hate the lizard woman. You remember the lizard woman, right, Guy? God, I hate her. She's the worst.
Like, why does she sound like
and Omega and the show's just full of caricatures.
That's what I don't get. Like, we're in space, yet somehow they have Earth accents. Like,
you know what? Let's calm down.
That is stupid as fuck. No, I'm gonna complain about this too, because this is so dumb. All right, some guys sound British, some guys sound American in Star Wars. Why? That makes no sense. And then now this lizard sounds like a Jewish New Yorker. That makes even less sense. There are no Jews in Star Wars. All right? What's going on here? I'm just gonna say that because I'm a Jew. But there are no Jews. Actually, anyone can. That's not
Harrison Ford is Jewish. So.
Yeah, he's like a half.
I knew from the Adam Sandler song.
All right,
he said it in the.
Look at you looking like an ally. Anyway, as I was saying, I am sick of these. Just pick a voice. Pick a fucking voice. Pick an accent.
And you want us to watch this?
Well, one episode at least.
Okay. One episode.
All right. So anyway, I'll be watching episode 5 of Bad Batch next week. So let's see if
I'm not gonna.
All right. Well,
did you guys watch Star Trek Visions by chance?
You mean Star Wars Visions?
Oh yes. Wow, did I say Star Trek? Yes. Star Wars. I actually hate Star Trek. Well, I don't hate it compared to Star Wars. Did you guys happen to watch Star Wars Visions?
I watched.
Is that the anime one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. No.
That was
all right.
I dug it. I liked it.
Okay.
It was one of those things.
Not to watch it.
I liked it. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like an easy show to produce in the sense that, like, people. I never even watched the Marvel What If series, but it kind of fell in that same vein as that for me. But I enjoyed it. Like, I think it was giving it to a completely different animation team each episode and stuff. There was some cool stuff in there for sure.
There's also,
I'll definitely watch a season 2.
I'm forgetting what this show is called. It's a Star Wars animated show, same animation style as the Clone Wars. It came out a few months ago, which was basically like it was in the anthology almost, where they had Count Dooku, like they showed Count Dooku when he was younger.
Oh yeah,
I'm forgetting what it was called, and Ahsoka as well. It already came out. It's only like 15 minutes per episode. It's like really short. I loved it. It's very, very good.
I can't remember what that was called.
I highly recommend, especially it's very short. You can get through all of it in like an hour. like the entire series, an hour and a half. So I would highly recommend it. It's some of the best Star Wars animated or live action content I've seen in a long time. It was really emotional despite kind of the short runtime for each episode. They kind of showed Count Dooku before he joined the Sith Order, his kind of how he fell to the dark side, and then kind of Ahsoka as well, how she kind of grew up in the lessons she learned along the way. So
Helmer,
I'd recommend that.
What's a better show, that or I Am Groot?
I haven't seen I Am Groot,
I'm
and
kidding.
I don't want to.
20 minutes of content.
Oh,
it's
really?
Fine, just like 20 minutes total.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even bother. But anyways, guys, we're gonna move on now to The Last of Us. Finally, We're done with the Bad Batch. Who wants to? Everybody here saw The Last of Us or no?
I did not.
All right. How many of us have played the game Last of Us? All right. So I haven't played the game, so we have some perspective here. Whoever wants to get started, get started. What are your thoughts on how it translated from video game to movie just from the first episode, or video game from show just from the first episode?
I've been talking a lot, so quick critic, I'll give it over to you.
Sure thing. So I didn't finish the game. I think I put like 20 hours into the original game, and then I just got distracted, and then I ended up trading it in for something else like at some point. So I never actually finished it. But as far as how it compares to the game, I feel like they match the tone pretty well. Joel behaves very similarly to Joel does in the game in the show with Pedro Pascal. So yeah, I mean, overall, very good. I mean, just very solidly produced. Like everything looks really good as far as like the cinematography and the way they composing the sets and scenes and whatnot. So just overall, just really well done. And I'm not surprised that it's pretty much got universal praise. As far as like critical praise, audience praise, all that kind of thing. So
yeah, Sully.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, so far, it's a really faithful adaptation. I know that there's some stuff that they said later on that they've changed or embellished on from the games to the show. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that is and what that kind of comes through as. But no, I mean, I really enjoyed the first episode. There's like a small part of me that's just like killing me that I know what's to come. Like I almost wish I could go into it with a completely organic mindset, and I kind of envy some of my friends that are watching it and never played the games. But I mean, I played the first game back when it came out, and then I just replayed part 1 and part 2 like a couple months ago in preparation for the show coming out. So I'd say I'm like a pretty big fan of this. I'm very ready for 9 o'clock tonight. I'll tell you that. And
for sure.
I think that there's some good parts in there that they embellished on that weren't in the game.
You really like the word embellished.
I think I said it twice, but fine. It sticks out like a sword.
It's stuck in my mind. Yeah.
I think that one of the parts that really sticks out in the first episode that they didn't include anything in the games really about like how this virus started and stuff. So they're clearly doing stuff to make sure that we get a full picture. So I love that first scene of the episode where the guy in the 60s, the guy that was in The Mummy, is talking about like what he thinks the next, outbreak or plague could be, and he thinks it's fungal and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them getting into more of the nitty-gritty backstory of it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I haven't played the games. I probably will actually after seeing the show. That's what I do with Uncharted, and it's not the same quality obviously when it comes to that movie compared to this show, but at the same time, that's probably what I'm gonna do. And part of me is glad that I can do that because I can enjoy the show while also enjoying the gameplay of the game afterwards. And as you can see, a unfortunate 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Don't know who that 1% is, but very unfortunate, and only a 95% audience score. Just really.
We'll find them.
Yeah, the numbers, whatever. But anyways, guys, I really love the first episode for the show. I can't wait for what's to come. I really like this entire scene where they're in the truck and when the zombie it reminded me of A Quiet Place Part 2 almost. The first scene of that. Where the outbreak where they have the flashback where the outbreak begins. It reminded me of that a lot. The thing with the old woman was really, really creepy.
I loved that.
You get that shot of when she's out of focus, she's like twitching, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then you think she's going to like turn right then, and then she leaves the house, and then she comes back, and the two old people are already dead. So
I need to give a Guy Knoll level of passionate warning out here to the viewers at home.
Gotcha.
That people online were saying kind of what you said about how that whole car introduction chase scene with the airplane and everything was from Quiet Place Part 2. But I want to say that that's right out of the first game, and the first Last of Us did it first. So the Quiet Place took it from the game, and then the game took it back.
That's true. All right? That's a good point. But yeah, that entire scene was great. And
that was awesome.
The scene where the girl dies as well. Again, I don't play the game, so I didn't know that was going to happen, and I was pretty shocked. I wouldn't say I was actually too shocked because I knew Bella Ramsey was going to be the main character in the show, so I was like, she can't really survive. But part of me didn't want her to die.
So Helmer, were you able to completely, like, you don't know any of the story beats? Like, I know you haven't played it. Okay.
No. I'm very intrigued because every single person who's played this game thinks it's like the best thing ever, and that the story is so complex and there's so much substance there.
It's incredible.
I can't wait to see what people have been talking about all this time. And the show also looks great. It doesn't look cheap. It's great to see that they put kind of a lot of production value into the show. And I can't wait to see what's to come. So that
actress is actually Thandie Newton's daughter.
Who?
Oh, really?
Who is
I
that?
didn't know that.
Thandie Newton was, I don't know, do you see Mission Impossible 2?
No.
Or Westworld?
I've seen Westworld.
She's made.
Oh, Tandy. I thought you. I always say Tandy Newton, so that's why I thought you said Danny Newton.
Thandaway Newton.
That's
her full name.
I thought you said okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I thought I was wondering who Danny Newton was, but anyways.
Me too.
Let's move on now, guys. Again, let us know in the live chat what your thoughts were about The Last of Us. And as QC freezes up a bit, but he seems to be good now. But what your thoughts are on The Last of Us and how excited you are for episode 2 and what's to come as well. Also, Danny McBride is in this, and then also the guy from Murray Bartlett, who's in The White Lotus season 1.
Love him.
I love him. Yeah, I love
him.
Sully, by the way, I forgot, you really remind me, not personality-wise, just of Jake Lacey in season 1 of White Lotus.
God, why? He's such a dick. Thanks so
I don't know.
much,
I need to pull
Helmer.
up a picture because I don't know. I think it's the New England in you where you just have that. No offense, but that average white guy kind of those kind of vibes.
I really am getting so much praise this stream. Thank you so much, Helmer.
No, you're good. Honestly, it's a good thing.
Guy, did you think that was a good thing?
What?
What he just said?
What he said? So, like, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the host should not be insulting.
I think the
I know, alienating his guests.
I think it's there.
Oh my god, you look nothing like him.
Nothing.
All right,
I don't see
that
you.
guy has no eyebrows.
Well,
Although,
I also said Sully reminded me
more
of
like
someone I
Kurt,
worked with.
that
I remember.
Oh yeah, you
Sully,
did say that. You did.
That
say
one was good. That one was good.
Yeah, that was
Wait,
better.
Wait, Alex, hold up. Show me the screen with all the bubble people behind us real quick.
I don't think I have. Oh.
Yeah, just quickly. Okay, so I think I could pick out someone that looks more. Okay, Nikita looks way more. And Kurt, and Nikita, and fucking Darren look more like that
All right,
guy.
Steve Lacey, dude.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
I'm just shooting. I'm calling everybody out in this episode. You know.
Another not so rare Helmer swing and a miss.
All right, we're going to move on now to our next topic. We're going to talk about big topics over the course of movies and TV.
Big topic.
All of that jazz. First, we're going to talk about a big trailer that we got to see for Scream 6.
I actually saw that.
Now, QC, Sully, you guys are big horror fans. Are you big fans of the Scream franchise as well?
Huge fan. Huge fan, especially the original.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I'd say the first one for sure. I'm a big fan of. I don't think I loved 5 as much as everyone loved it. I thought it was clever. I haven't really had a desire to watch it again after seeing it in the theaters, but I'm definitely the most excited I've been for the franchise in a long time after seeing this trailer, though. I'll tell you that.
This is the moment of the trailer for me, seeing Scream with a shotgun.
I forgot about the guy working
really
at the register. Looks like. Hold on, rewind it.
Oh my god, here we go.
Show the guy at the register again. Show him again. You know what he kind of looks like? He kind of looks like if Henry Hill from Goodfellas was like fat. Hold on. Give it a second.
What a specific call out.
I was thinking the same thing.
Give it a second.
If Henry Hill from Goodfellas was fat.
Hold up. Yeah, you see that? It's just like him.
Sure.
He's fat.
Sure.
So I saw this trailer, obviously not intentionally at all. What happened was I was watching like a clip of something, but then the ad came in, the 5 second, but I decided not to hit the 5 seconds, then skip ad. So I just sat through this and watched it. And those shoes, honestly, you see the shoes he's wearing? That guy, Mr. Scream, is that what he's called? So those shoes that he's wearing, that honestly took me out of it. It took me out of it because I was like, oh, he's not a real monster. And I was a little disappointed.
I don't think Guy understands the
yeah.
I've never watched
the
a single
appeal
one
of
of these
Scream.
fucking movies.
We had no idea.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this trailer. New York, New Rules is the tagline. So right when I saw that poster, not even like they released the poster before the first teaser trailer, I was really into it, especially if they're going into New York. Now, the fact that Neve Campbell and David Arquette aren't in this, that's a big negative for me. How are they going to get us to, I guess they're not really focusing on the legacy characters as much, which could be a good thing. Do you guys, Courtney Cox is kind of the only big one there. Speaking of which, do you guys think she's killed in this movie? Do you think this is her last one? Everybody's kind of divided that I see too.
I'm really excited that acting veteran Jenna Ortega is in this movie. I think that's going to be she's very, very good actress. Very good actress.
But guys, for Courtney Cox, what are your guys' thoughts?
I was going to say, I think not having Neve Campbell, obviously, when I heard that news, that really turned me off the film a little bit. But the trailer I thought was good. I like the idea of taking it out of Woodsboro and changing the environment. And having Ghostface using a shotgun is totally something new for the franchise.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Ghostface.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but Hayden, I think Panettiere, I think her last name is. She's also a legacy character, but a legacy character that kind of showed up somewhat briefly, I think, in
4.
She was in 4, yeah.
And she was not expected to return, and now she's back. So I think there could be something going on with that. But I think the trailer, I think it looks good. I'm excited for it. I mean, I agree with you, Sully. I didn't think Scream 5 was like setting the world on fire, but I'm just a huge fan of the franchise. And I think the original Scream is such a seminal moment in kind of like the history of horror cinema and certainly the slasher. So I like to see where they're going to go just from like a standpoint of just the Scream franchise. And are they going to be able to reinvent themselves the way they kind of reinvented the slasher and the self-aware slasher?
The trailer for this one already looks like it has less of a comedic angle with some of its parts too. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I mean, I know what kind of made Scream was like how meta and funny, darkly it kind of was. But like, how many times can you do that in a row and still keep it fresh? So I think darker tone plus New York hopefully doesn't end up like Jason Takes Manhattan, and might have something good here. So.
Are you thinking that Courtney Cox dies in this one?
I mean, if the angle is to just like completely go forward with this kind of like new batch of young actors that they have that clearly want their defining roles or like the next, I don't know, 5 or 6 years of their acting future to be involved in this franchise, then I think she'll definitely die. Probably.
I hope not, because I didn't like how they killed Dewey in the last movie, so I'm hoping they kind of keep as much alive as possible. One other thing, something I wasn't too huge on in the trailer was that the moment where they're like, "Oh, this one's different than the rest of them."
Right.
Like, okay, well, you said that last movie.
They always say that.
They always say it. Maybe it's a joke, and I just wasn't in on it. But I just felt I was like, okay, well, this one's more violent than the others.
I did enjoy
last Scream movie.
See those shoes? It's fucking shoes.
I did enjoy the whole like shrine setup.
Yeah, I did. That was cool.
I thought that was a good idea. So
yeah. So and if you were to guess, because each Scream movie kind of has a theme in regards to what do you think this one's going to be? Like last one was kind of like reboots, remakes. What's this one going to be?
Oh God. I don't know if I've thought enough.
It's really hard to tell by the trailer, but I'm definitely getting vibes of like they're taking it out of Woodsboro. This is the first Scream film not to occur in that in that city. So I think that's probably where the film is going to lean into the New York setting and how to kind of make some of the kills more interesting because it's in New York. But then again, we thought that about Jason Takes Manhattan, and we saw how that what happened there. So, you know what I mean? I hate to go back to that film.
That's true.
Yeah. So I have a question. What came first, the Halloween costume or the movie?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
I would say the movie.
I asked this because how long has this franchise been around for?
Scream?
1996.
You mean to say the Scream? You said Halloween. You mean to say Scream?
Yeah, like the costume.
The Halloween costume. The costume. The Ghostface costume.
Like what came first, the actual mask as a Halloween costume?
Someone in the comments let me know. That's actually good.
I want to know. I'm actually kind of curious about that.
That's good. That's a good question. I don't know.
I know it is. I asked.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I don't know. Helmer, do you have a theme guess here, or?
If I were to guess, I think it's gonna be about having a theme. You know, horror movies having like, oh, should this movie have a theme? And this killer, obviously, he has like a big obsession with the Scream, you know, the Ghostface killers, and so perhaps he wants to kind of create, I don't know, every horror movie like elevate. I guess I don't know. Last movie was kind of elevated. No, last movie seemed to kind of the unoriginality of horror. So
or the toxic fandom.
Fandom, yeah. Kind of like I always enjoy watching a Scream movie. You know, that's always one of my thing. I always go in to try to, because all of them try to kind of play with the times, you know, a bit, and try to whatever's kind of in the horror world, whatever's kind of a really talkative subject, they always try to kind of exploit that. And so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun movie, and it's coming out very soon now. What, in like March or April?
Yeah, March.
So I'm very excited. As we move on to our next topic, we're gonna talk about the next trailer we have on the docket, The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, Swiker Burnett, you are huge on The Mandalorian. You do a bunch of live streams about it. You post all about it. What did you think of the trailer for Mandalorian Season 3?
I thought it was great. I think it's just more of the same. I feel like they definitely have a rhythm with this show. Like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni kind of like found their groove with The Mandalorian. Season 1 and 2, and it just seems like more of the same. You know, we're gonna get more of Grogu. Looks like kind of doing his own thing now, able to move on his own, which could be interesting. But yeah, no, I love it. I think The Mandalorian is, to me, the best use of the Star Wars property since the original trilogy, and I'll die on that hill. And it looks like they're gonna keep that going.
Sully?
Yeah, I'm obviously really looking forward to it. I mean, the first season of The Mandalorian coming out was just like an absolute landmark time for Star Wars fans, like thanking the heavens that we kind of got something solid again since probably like Rogue One. And also, I'll just say I'm a Solo truther. I'll just have that on the record. I like Solo, but
that's a hot take.
I'm a big heist, like adventure kind of movie fan. But anyway, no, I'm really looking forward to Mandalorian. I say one thing though, and they kind of hint on that with the trailer, but like, I need Grogu to do something more than just be cute.
Yes,
like for the next last two seasons, it was very much like, okay, let's sell some merchandise here. We got this baby Yoda. People are going to eat it up. And he was just kind of cute for the last 2 seasons. I just needed to see him do a little bit, progress a little more, especially after the scenes with Luke and whatnot that we saw. So, I mean, look, he's already doing more than he did in the first 2 seasons right there. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it and seeing way more Mandalorians and whatnot. I mean,
yeah.
After seeing those episodes from the Clone Wars, obviously I'm very hyped up to see it in live action.
Guy?
Yeah. No, I agree. You know, I was actually just thinking about this. I don't know why. This is so weird. But I was thinking to myself how, like, I was annoyed that, like, he got Grogu back in Book of Boba Fett. Because that was something that annoyed me. But then I thought to myself, well, wait. Like, the baby is, like, 50 years old. So, like, by the time it's, like, fully trained, Luke will be dead. So, like, it'll probably be, like, and the Mandalorian will be dead, too. So it, like, makes sense for him to return him now. I was thinking that while I was watching the trailer. But
it's like, if he's this young little baby still, even though he's like 50 years old, you're right. All the characters that are involved, we're never going to see him like do.
We're never going to
see him in his final form. You know what I mean?
Or even as like a fucking like kid, like you're not going to see that. So like, I here's my thing. The Book of Boba Fett really ruined a lot for me. to desire with Star Wars. I'm gonna be honest.
Whoa, hot take. You saw
Hot
that QC
take.
head turn.
Hot take. It was a load of crap. All right.
I know.
Everyone thinks
Especially how they handled my boy Cad Bane.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Don't even get us started.
Don't, because we have a whole thing that, like, you know, there's so many. I mean, it's my big thing is that I don't know how I feel about getting into this show again. It's been a minute. I mean, I'm happy for new Star Wars stuff, obviously, but there's just too much of this shit now. There's too much.
Star Wars, there's not enough.
Yeah, shut up. There's too much. All right.
Helmer, I need this clipped for when 6 months from now, guys singing its praises.
No. There's too much. Okay. Don't cut me off. This is my time. It's called Guy Helmer. You are second billing. All right. Here's the thing. This is what annoys me. It's like, I don't know who's calling the shots at Disney, but like, you know,
don't know who's calling the shots?
John Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yes, them.
No, but he doesn't know them.
I don't know them personally, but if I did know them, I would.
That's like being at a job and you're like,
I
don't know. Why aren't you guys letting me eat the customer's food? Who calls the shots around here?
Let me make my argument. But if I did know them, I'd say, dude, you gotta slow down. Quality over quantity. Okay. This is something that bugs me. All right.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with that take. I think that every Disney-owned franchise could take.
No, 100%,
like the Mandalorian
1,000%.
season
But I wouldn't
1.
say that Star Wars right now they're putting quantity over quality. Like there's not much coming out.
Agreed. And I think when you think about the animated stuff, like we talked about that at the top of the show, yeah, there's a lot of that coming out, and I feel like most of it is just utterly skippable. But from a live action standpoint, I feel like Mandalorian season 1, Mandalorian season 2,
Great
Book of
quality.
Boba Fett, which, you know, I can see why people would consider that to be below Mandalorian season 1 and 2. But if you think about it as really just one long continuous Star Wars story, you just kind of forget about what show it is. I think it's a really great arc for all the characters.
I guess, but that is something that does make me excited, though, because the Book of Boba Fett was such a load of shit that they had to bring this guy in to fix it. All right. They literally had to bring this guy in, and right after that first half of the season, they're like, "Holy crap, Boba Fett is dull. We need to bring in the guy."
They quickly put Grogu and Mandalorian back together.
Yeah, they were like, "This guy is dull as fuck." Okay, his eyebrows have finally grown back. But
Are they doing a second season?
No way.
I don't think so. No way.
Yeah.
You know what
I don't know, man.
You know what I found funny was that, like, the makeup, like, for some reason his eyebrows grew back in Book of Boba Fett. Anyone else notice that?
No.
Just you, guy.
Eyebrows.
Sorry, wrong
That's
one.
the wrong
He
thing.
doesn't have eyebrows.
He doesn't have eyebrows either. He's gonna have eyebrows in the new screen.
What about Fat
No.
Henry Hill? Did he have eyebrows?
Very thin, very thin. But
I'm gonna finally talk.
Wait. You guys keep interrupting me.
I haven't talked yet.
Let me finish. Okay. No, but yeah, I'm excited. That's it.
All right, finished.
Clearly.
All right, finally I can talk. All right, so The Mandalorian season 3. I've been kind of critical over the show. I like it. I just don't think it's kind of not necessarily basically the masterpiece that a lot of other people think it is. I think it has a lot of problems, especially because it kind of feels like a video game. And I've been very critical of that story structure over kind of every episode kind of feeling the same, where it's like, oh, we go to this planet, some villager needs help to fight whoever, they fight whoever, and then someone who they met along the way gives them kind of a mission to do in the next episode. And it's like, nah, I just want one linear story about one objective throughout the entire season that I can be hooked on to, not just, I don't know, what planet they're going to be on. Yeah, I want something where I'm like, oh, next episode, I'm excited for them to do this because it keeps me hooked. And I'm kind of not a fan of doing that twice in a row. They do that 3 times in a row. I don't want them to do that 3 times in a row. I'd be very angry.
It's like Gotham. Gotham, every episode is exactly the same. It's just
and I don't like that.
So Penguin does some crazy shit. Jim Gordon says GCPD, and then that's the episode.
Yeah,
and it's awful.
He does say GCPD to every episode.
He does. We talk GCPD. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that again.
So I just think though that criticism aside of all this, I really have a decently strong dislike for almost every Disney Plus show that we've gotten, other than the 2 that I only think are worthwhile are Mandalorian and Andor. I think both of them.
Okay, Andor. I forgot about that. That's good.
I love Andor.
Yeah.
Has everyone
I
watched
forgot
that?
about Andor. I still need to finish it. I got like 3 episodes in, and I didn't.
Oh my god, dude! The middle part of that show is
Yeah.
like my favorite Star Wars content since like the original trilogy.
Yeah,
like
I need
there's
to
a very
get into
defining
that.
part. But you know.
Yeah, and but also, and I'm also critical of the fact they brought back Grogu, like Sully. I agree 1000%. Hopefully they give him some sort of arc here, and also just not kind of because again,
Jedi.
to me, there's just a lot of Star Wars content where it's like, hey, let's bring in. They did the same thing with the Bad Batch. They've done the same thing with the Book of Boba Fett. It's like let's bring in something cute or not. Kenobi.
And, they did it with Kenobi.
Yeah, Kenobi's that's the one. And it's like let's bring in something cute to make the main character feel like they're not too boring,
like
you know. And it almost it does feel like they're putting the Mandalorian aside, just trying to prop him up as being more interesting than he actually is with Grogu. And I feel like not having Grogu would have been a benefit to the show and to the writing.
I agree.
So bringing him back, I felt was not the right move, especially this early. I felt like having
supposed to be dead in the franchise.
There's just a lot of Order 66 flashbacks.
Oh,
no problem there. I love them, but there's just a lot of them.
I just think like in the writer's room, like if they're like, hey, aren't people gonna be worried that like Grogu didn't do anything? And they're like, all right, I don't know, just make him like eat something in this episode. People will love it. Like he just eats something whenever he just like eats like he had those like cheese puffs and then he ate a frog. Like it was just
he ate all those frog babies.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like Godzilla to them.
That was like a legitimate plot point of an episode. So
spider babies.
But regardless, they're going back to Mandalore here. Hopefully, what's her name from the Clone Wars? Yeah, she's gonna play a part in it. The Darksaber as well. We're gonna get a bit more of the Mandalorian culture post Empire, which is a really interesting concept to explore. And I'm excited nonetheless. So as we move on to the next topic, we're going to talk about recently. Jason Momoa has posted a very interesting video on social media talking about how he met with the DC creative team, Peter Safran, James Gunn, as well as David Zaslav, about his future with Warner Brothers and DC. Now, guys, obviously a lot of people speculating, does Aquaman, after Aquaman 2, after The Flash, obviously does the rest of the DCEU as we know it, is that kind of erased? But also, do the characters that we know and love, are they going to be erased? Now, and obviously for Jason Momoa, a lot of people are speculating that Lobo would be the character in which, if Aquaman could continue, he would be able to portray on screen. So guys, what are your thoughts on this news about Jason Momoa, about the entire DC situation, and are we going with Aquaman or Lobo?
I think that Hollywood
or someone else.
Yeah, so to me, Jason Momoa is like Hollywood's Kool-Aid man, you know, because he's always going, oh yeah, you know. But I think that I think he's going to be playing Lobo, because it seems to me as though this is what bugs me. Everyone's like, keep like Henry Cavill, keep like all these cast members. I'm like, no, it's going to be too confusing. Just wipe the board, all right, and restart. And frankly,
he really does say "oh yeah" a lot.
Yeah, exactly. He's the Hollywood form version of the Kool-Aid Man. But like what annoys me is like everyone wants to keep him as Aquaman. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be honest. Thank you, Lucas. I'm gonna be honest. It's Luke. I'm gonna be honest.
Be honest already.
I think that I didn't like him as Aquaman. Because I prefer, like, Aquaman is supposed to be kind of a little more reserved and not as, like, crazy. And he was, like, once again, he was like, oh, yeah. And that is Lobo. He is essentially Lobo. Look at this man's face. All right? Look at the way he acts. It's like he was literally built for that role. And so that's why I think if you're going to have him in the new universe, he's going to be playing Lobo. I think that's why he's excited, is that he gets to play... Because he keeps saying he's excited about the new shit James Gunn and him are doing. It's probably because he gets to play a villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it would be great for his career, obviously. I like Jason Momoa as an actor. I just want him to do more different roles. And Aquaman, I think after Aquaman 2, I think he's going to run its course. And obviously, any situation in which you can take Amber Heard out of the universe would be a plus for most people.
That's another thing. You don't want to keep all of them, because then you're going to have to keep her. You don't want to be stuck with her, because she's going to be shitting on like everyone's like chairs and cameras and every set. There's gonna be poop everywhere. She's gonna blame it on Johnny Depp's dog. It's gonna be awful. Awful.
QC, your thoughts?
Amber Turd.
I mean, look, I think Jason Momoa is a fine actor. I really like him. I thought he was fine in Aquaman.
Yeah, he's next to Nero.
I'm not like super excited about that franchise, at all, really. I think he does look like Lobo. It seems like a good fit. I'd probably go watch that. But I don't know. I feel like that's one of those movies. That's one of those characters where I feel like people talk about how much they love him, but I wouldn't be surprised if a movie came out and just nobody went to go see it.
I agree. I 100%. That's
I think it's gonna be like a Morbius. I think here's what I think he should do. I think I saw this. There's a new animated Superman movie that's on HBO Max. Superman: Man of Tomorrow. It's a very good movie, and it's essentially kind of like a Superman proto origin story, and Lobo is in that. So put Lobo in like a Superman movie. That's how you
wait for that.
It's in a Superman. He's a Superman villain.
Yeah, sure, but we don't have a Superman currently, so.
Yeah, but it's obvious we have, like, that was already, everyone wanted him as Lobo already. That was like the most universal person to cast as Lobo.
No, so I don't think most people know who Lobo is, to be honest.
Yeah, but the people who do know who Lobo is think of that.
Right, like
I have very little Lobo knowledge, I'll tell you that right now.
Sully?
He's an alien.
The 90s, the product of the 90s, just very, like, just anti-hero for the sake of being an anti-hero, swears and drinks and smokes and just... but he's a superhero.
He's like a
Superman. He reminds me of Sully a lot. No,
thank you. Only in my looks.
I'm pretty sure Lobo was originally from the 80s, but then the 90s came and they gave him that like revamp where he's got the leather jacket, the spiked shoulders, and the makeup, and he looks like fucking badass. And I think he should be in a Superman movie.
So I don't know if you guys saw this too. What I was seeing on Twitter and whatnot is that like Momoa was putting out a statement. He said something that I hope was just worded incorrectly, but he said something like no one's coming for like the Aquaman role, but like something new and exciting just got like put on my desk or something, right? Almost in teasing that he was going to play Aquaman and Lobo in the same universe, and which I think would be absolutely awful. And like someone said something, he said something in like what, like people play multiple iconic characters, like whatever, and I'm like, not in the same universe.
Not like that. Not like
it would be if they do that. I can't. That is one of these stupid.
No, I hate it when that happens. I remember.
Like, what are you gonna have? Are you gonna have both of them in the same movie, and the poster's gonna say Jason Momoa and Jason Momoa?
Like, I remember when. No, exactly.
It's gonna be like Nutty Professor.
Exactly. I used to be a collector of Lego figures. I used to collect them all the time, and the MCU Lego sets were the ones I collected the most. And one time they decided, this one year, Lego for some reason decided to be really cheap with the Marvel sets. And on like the Bucky Barnes figure they released, it was essentially the Chris Pratt head. It was the Chris Pratt head. And it used to piss me off to no end because I would want to have a crossover.
This story is getting airtime, eh?
What?
Nothing. I'm joking.
You're not fucking Canadian.
Just go.
You're not Canadian. You grew up in Washington,
finish the story.
DC, and yet you say, "Hey, Swanka, defend me here." As I was saying, look, the whole Lego thing. I'm just saying, I hate it when I see two people with the same face in the same franchise.
That's an incredible
That was a long
take.
Journey to get.
I don't want to see him play Lobo and Aquaman because of a Lego set for the MCU that they put out 10 years ago.
Really guys, we're gonna move on now to our final big topic of the day: the Critics' Choice winners. That we got the chance.
Why does that guy look like he's taking a shit while he's on stage?
He's excited that he won.
He's happy guy.
The guy
a thing or two about
it. The guy who's presenting it. It's really.
It's not the presenter. It's the other director.
We're gonna go over them. We're gonna go over them very, very quickly. RRR won Best Foreign Language Film.
Yes.
At the Globes, Argentina 1985 one, which is a pretty big surprise. Sully, you seem to be a big fan of RRR.
I just think it's just like fun escapism cinema. Like it was probably like the most escapism movie you could watch last year. Like it's just like the same reason that I love the Indiana Jones franchise and Raiders of the Lost Ark specifically is just like there's something in it for everybody. Like there's action, romance, comedy, drama, like everything. And then RRR took that and put in like fights with animals, a dance number, a song, like larger than life set pieces, that kind of stuff. So I just think it's like, if I had to describe it in one word, it's just fun.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, it's going to be fun to see at the Oscars what happens, obviously, because All Quiet on the Western Front's getting a lot of buzz. Same with Decision to Leave as well. And Best Supporting Actress in a Drama, Jennifer Coolidge, great in White Lotus.
Yep.
I would have given it to Rhea Seehorn in Better Call Saul. I think that was an amazing performance, and it never gets. The fact that it was even nominated, because they never seem to nominate her, was good. But I wanted the win. All good though. Jennifer Coolidge is great. Giancarlo Esposito though won for Better Call Saul, which is interesting because I didn't think he was the best supporting actor of the final season of Better Call Saul, and I thought Rhea Seehorn was better. Obviously, different category though, but yeah, Giancarlo nonetheless, he's great as Gus Fring. That's probably going to be the final time he portrays the character. So I'm glad to see him go out. I love Giancarlo Esposito, one of my favorite actors working today, and it's great to see him getting some love because the character of Gus Fring, especially the way he went out in the series, was really, really great to see.
He should be Dr. Doom, by the way. Anyway, go on.
He should be a lot of characters.
Yeah, he should. And yeah,
that's just one of the 10 options that people are floating around my Instagram feed.
Yeah.
We're gonna Paul Walter Hauser and Blackbird. He won at the Globes as well. People seem to love that show. I haven't seen it. Abbott Elementary gets some more wins. Henry Winkler for Barry. A lot of people love Barry. Fun to see him get an award. Love Henry Winkler.
He's awesome in that show.
Yeah. Guy watches Barry.
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
I love Barry as well. I gotta get caught up, but it's a good show.
Yeah. And Ke Kwan for Everything Everywhere. The sweep is coming. Get out your brooms, everyone. He's taking this straight to the Oscars. Angela Bassett as well. This probably after this, as well as the Golden Globes, this could be the first. It's going to be the first Oscar-nominated Marvel performance, and it will be the first win when she wins, which is going to be crazy. She's a great actress. She's very good in the movie. I'd pick someone else personally.
Fucking Marvel movie.
I thought she was okay. Best supporting actress, like just because she.
I'm sorry. It's obviously a bunch of people trying to shill to a bunch of assholes on the internet. All right, you just want Marvel to win. Okay,
she did some real acting in a Marvel movie for like 2 scenes.
Right,
that's true.
Does that mean you? I mean, like the bar's pretty low there. I haven't seen. Let's see. I haven't seen most of those other films, but
I should have probably given it to.
I'm sure
Jamie
Lee Curtis is more deserving.
QC was just like picking one out of that. Jamie Lee Curtis. Let's go with her.
Should have given it to the girl from Banshees or Everything Everywhere.
Yeah,
I think.
Carrie Condon.
What about Janelle Monáe? She was good in Glass.
I thought she was fine.
She was solid.
She was fine.
I thought she was funny. I like that movie.
I thought she was okay. I rewatched Glass Onion. I wasn't huge on it on a rewatch. So
I think the first one's much better, but
yeah.
Sarah
Polley for Women Talking, a film that's been dropping everywhere recently. People don't even think it's going to get picture at this point. No acting nominees, but the adapted screenplays, you can see it's really, really weak. Glass Onion, I mean, I love Glass Onion, but at the same time, it has a lot of problems screenplay-wise, and The Whale as well. So that's really, it's going to be a tough category to predict, though, because a lot of those movies aren't as revered as Best Original Screenplay nominees, like Everything Everywhere won, but Banshees and The Fabelmans are also strong nominees. Hildur Gone, I'm not even going to try, for Tar, which is really weird. That was probably the most surprising of the awards because there's basically very little score in Tar.
Yeah.
And when there is, it's not as bombastic as, say, The Batman, which is also nominated, or as noticeable as something like Pinocchio, which I thought had a great score, or Women Talking, or Babylon. Babylon, I think the score is just phenomenal for that movie. So interesting pick.
Those cowards didn't nominate Puss in Boots, but I digress.
That's a great score.
That's
Sully
a great
screams.
score.
It's a great score. And Best Original Song, I feel like, for what's it called?
Yeah, Fearless Hero.
Fearless Hero, that's it. Yeah,
great song.
Speaking of song, though, Not To. Yep. Sully, you're a fan of the movie. Do you like the song?
Yes, I'm very happy that one.
Right.
I thought that was kind of a no-brainer, to be perfectly honest.
Honestly, I ain't worried. They campaigned it, but it's obviously Hold My Hand's getting priority. I thought that was by far the best song of the year. I'm listening to that song on repeat still. So
yeah,
but it's
a good song.
So how the hell was the Batman on here? Didn't that come out like 2 years ago? The score?
No.
2022.
No,
that was March 2022.
It was in March.
Okay. I feel like the Batman was like 3 movies.
We just talked about it so much that it feels like it was forever.
We praise it. No,
we praised for like 2 months, and then nobody else talked about it.
But yet it has no actor nominations, though. Isn't that strange?
Sorry?
Isn't it strange that the Batman doesn't have any actor nominations?
Yeah, I would think Paul Dano's been really overlooked.
Yeah, but it's a superhero movie again, and It came out in
What the
March,
fuck?
so a lot of
Fucking
people.
But yet, into the basket.
What the hell? I'm sorry, I did the high pitch. What?
Look, as a
What?
black man, I can say this: it's the Chadwick Boseman effect. Okay, they're just trying to honor
Chadwick
Boseman,
effect.
which I understand.
You remember
You
what
know
the
what I mean?
Chadwick effect did to the last Oscars, and the way everyone, and the way it was like, and the winner
So
is,
Angela Bassett
and
better
the
win.
winner
though,
is
right?
Anthony Hopkins, and then everyone was like that, and they changed the Oscars just so that they thought Chadwick would win. You would think they would know who
All
won
right.
before.
Well, it's not getting any
Fucking
better from
idiots,
here because
sorry.
Black Panther won for best costume design as well.
That makes
and
sense.
then-
Those are actually good. Those are
Okay, good. Okay,
Those are
Daniel
good.
Radcliffe won for Weird Al.
I love this win.
That was a
Okay.
great
You love
movie.
Love
I thought it was
this
a good
win.
That was a great
No, that's a
movie.
really
Gotta see
good
that.
movie. That's a
That's a
really
good
good movie.
movie.
The thing is,
Guillermo
the only
del
thing
Toro.
is, you have to figure out how to download the Roku app if you want to watch.
Exactly.
That's the only
yes.
problem. But
Yeah.
That
really
was
good
something
movie.
that's the problem is that it's on fucking Roku
Yeah.
when you use Roku to get to other streaming services. It
Guy,
made no sense.
when you get it, you just get it, man.
I know I get it.
And then best animated feature, we talked about it. Cowards.
Absolute cowards.
No one's
Need
gonna
Puss
do
in
it. Puss in
Boots.
Boots. I like
Pinocchio.
Guillermo's Pinocchio. I like
Yeah.
it, but it is no Puss in Boots Last Wish. I saw that movie over the weekend. I was very late to it. It is amazing.
It's
It is
It's
so
unbelievable.
good. Shut
It's
up.
okay.
No, it was my
Shut
number
up.
5 of the whole
No,
year.
maybe
Dave,
it's
it's my
just-
number. Oh, that's great. It's also my
No,
number 5.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's because I'm just an unhappy person, but I fucking hated that movie.
You hated
Oh
Puss
my!
in
You,
Boots?
wait, you saw it and you disliked it.
I'm sorry. I don't need a wish map. I have you. Fuck
Oh,
off.
come
All right.
on.
I don't need
Come
any of that
on.
sappy crap. All right.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
it like it is. Make them unhappy.
Is this
Fuck
like
the
the
villain.
fifth Puss in Boots film? Like,
It's
Whoa,
the second.
let's
It's the
calm
second
down,
Puss in Boots
Swanka.
film, but it's like the 6th Shrek
that's
film.
You obviously-
pronounced my name correctly, by the way.
And Sully, were you satisfied? I reckon you're a fan of the Shrek cinematic universe. So were you creaming your knickers at the end of that? At the end of Puss in Boots?
Yes, the
The
last
last
30
shot of
seconds
Puss
of
in
that movie was fantastic. Like
Oh,
it was
The
just
my
villain,
God.
Death was cool.
Death
was
amazing.
fantastic.
That was
Are you
like,
kidding
and the
me?
fight scenes were great. The fight
You know
scenes
how
were
much,
great.
how many strings they probably had to pull to have that one drop of blood come down Puss's face.
Yeah.
Like
a lot.
that's not a PG thing,
dude,
man.
there was a lot. I thought it was PG. I had to check that it was actually PG.
I
Like
know.
Jack Horner kills like what, maybe 40 people.
He actually murders people in the
He
movie.
murders people in the
Yeah.
movie.
That's
like
a
if I was a
great
kid, I'd be
movie.
scared shitless.
So
He was-
I've
John,
always
John
said
Mulaney
this.
was great, and also the Jimmy Stewart cricket. Shout out to
Oh, yeah.
the Jimmy.
I've always said this.
Jack,
that, like,
what are you
that was,
doing?
that was pretty good.
It was like you. That's how I do it.
My
Well,
favorite animated movies are always the ones that like can stand up to legitimate entries in other genres.
Yeah.
Like Rango is a big one for me because I
Ooh,
see that
that's
as like a
a good
legitimate
movie.
western.
Sully?
Like that's like a
Ah.
legit thing.
Thank you, Sully.
So Puss in
yeah.
Boots is like it's just like the classic tale of like the
100%.
fearless desperado, and he's like doing
Yeah.
one last adventure, even though he's like
Yeah.
death's knocking on his door. I think it
And
was fantastic.
It's okay.
One thing I loved. One
It's
thing I love about
okay.
animated movies. Something I love about animated movies. The most animated movies I love. The common theme is that I love that certain animated movies, the ones where you can't do the same thing in live action. You know, ones where they take advantage of the medium, and that's what Puss in Boots
Spider-Verse.
does. Spider-Verse, yes, that's an amazing example. That's another one and this one has a lot of kind of design techniques that Spider-Verse used.
You
And
could
The
tell,
opening
I noticed
sequence-
that with the fights. With the fights, they did that.
Yeah.
with
The
that.
opening sequence with the giant was one of the most like visually dazzling thing I saw
was
all
so
year. So
yeah. Yeah.
All right,
We're gonna,
all right.
we're gonna
Stop,
move on
guy,
now,
that's
but
enough. That's
Guy,
enough.
you need to watch it again, clearly.
yeah,
That's enough.
you-
All right.
and
That's
QC
enough.
needs to
Stop.
watch it. I think he'll
It's
enjoy
a
it.
fucking cartoon. It's
And also,
awesome.
it's the best Shrek movie since Shrek 2.
100%.
One of the best animated movies ever made. Every time I meet someone
Really?
who says they love
Puss in
Shrek
Boots.
2, they become one of my best friends. So
I feel like I'm looking into a mirror right now.
I
This
know,
is
so-
fantastic.
this is Life Achievement Award, Jeff Bridges, sure. See Her Award, Janelle Monáe. I don't know who
What's the
likes
See
it.
Her
It's like
Award?
it's the John Cena Award.
We need to watch Puss in Boots 1 and
Wait,
2.
wait.
No, you don't have to
Wait,
watch any of them.
Wait, hold on. What is a See Her Award?
you can visually see her.
Like, I see you. I see what you're doing. I like it.
I gotta
Wait,
say, I think Sully Streams was robbed from the See Her. Wait, no, he's not a woman. But I think I can think
Still
of.
was
I
robbed.
think
My-
on YOLO
my mom
movie.
was-
I think on YOLO movie reviews, it was robbed.
But yeah, we're gonna move on now. We're gonna try to speed through this, going overtime here. Jeremy Allen White for the Bear.
Love
the Bear. Great win. Can't wait to see what he does in the A24. He's in the Von Erich's A24 wrestling movie.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
him and Efron, right?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see that.
Oh, Gene Smart.
Gene
Smart.
It's not out yet.
Brilliant.
The Bear is out. That movie is. It's coming out this year.
Yeah.
What about Von Erich?
What about
it's coming out this year. I can't wait for it. It's a great.
What about Cocaine Bear?
That's coming out.
That'll be next year's.
Best picture.
Gene Smart. She's great in Hacks.
Yep.
She's like actually fantastic. That's a great show.
I need to see it.
It's good.
Abbott Elementary, obviously.
I need to see that.
Top Gun for best cinematography. Let's go. That's my favorite cinematography of the year.
Really?
And it's visually just like, whew. But anyways, I'll move on. Editing, Everything Everywhere. Sure, I would have given it to The Fabelmans, or Top Gun, actually. Never mind, but whatever. Best visual effects, obviously. Hair and makeup, Elvis. Sure, I guess. Batman.
What?
There. I would have given it to Batman.
What?
I thought compare Penguin.
I would have given it to the Batman for Penguin.
I'm sorry, they made Colin Farrell in the Richard Kind with scars and acne. All right, that was fucking amazing.
Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul. Let's fucking go. Bob Odenkirk finally wins for Better Call Saul.
His last chance.
It's just about time. His last, and he won it. Thank God.
I'm really glad that they gave him recognition. I think
he's amazing.
A lot of people usually overlook comedians.
Yeah.
To be 100%. Honest, that is a very known thing with the Academy, and I'm just glad that they finally have given him like something.
I just think it's crazy that like after being in that and Breaking Bad, he's like now finally. I still feel like he's underrated, even though those are two the best shows.
He's also, I mean, like he's brilliant. Like everything he's done.
And I can't wait for the sequel to Nobody. I really enjoyed Nobody.
Yes. That movie actually saved his life because he was in such good shape that when he had his heart attack, I
believe it.
Yeah. Zendaya for Euphoria. Sure, I don't watch Euphoria, but whatever.
She's good in Euphoria.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Dude, Harley Quinn is amazing. The animated show is amazing. Harley Quinn.
Euphoria.
Yes.
It was the animated Harley Quinn show.
Yes.
It was.
Well, the third season.
The third season, I couldn't get. I got like an episode in. I couldn't.
I haven't seen the third season, but I did really enjoy the first two.
Did you like the third season?
I didn't watch the third season.
Okay, so the first two seasons are amazing.
First two seasons were really funny.
And then the third season is like,
so bad.
What happened?
I was so weird. I called Guy. I was like, oh, what? Like, is it just me or is there this a gigantic quality drop here?
And I agree. I mean, it was really. I think it's also when you kill so many characters in the first two seasons, you don't have a lot of people to work with. So I think that did not help either.
Best comedy special, Norm Macdonald, R.I.P.
Okay,
legend.
So I like this choice because I feel like it's a good it's a very interesting special because there's no audience. It's just him with a microphone in front of a camera. You don't even see his full body. You see literally me with the shoulders and the head, the bust kind of thing. And it's fantastic. And then in the last 30 minutes, you have Dave Chappelle, David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, Adam Sandler, David Spade, and I'm forgetting her name, but they're all speaking of their memories of Norm Macdonald, and it's really fantastic. And I have to say that's a really great special. I would also say though, that I feel like this year there's been a lot of overlooked specials. Sam Morril, same time, Same Time Tomorrow. That's like a really great special, and I highly recommend people watch that. Or Louis C.K.'s Sorry. Those two specials specifically are like overlooked and very, very good.
All right, we're gonna move on now. Best acting ensemble.
That's my comedy that you had your shorts.
I let you go. I let you go.
I have my comedy points of the moment. Yeah.
Glass Onion and Eyes Out Mystery for best ensemble. Sure.
Should have given it to
Banshees. The Fabelmans.
Banshees.
Glass Onion also won for best comedy. I would say I like Glass Onion a tad more than Banshees, but Banshees, that one I wouldn't have been opposed.
I'll say of all those movies, I laughed the most at Triangle of Sadness and Massive Talent.
Ooh, I wasn't huge on Triangle of Sadness.
I like
that was the one I'm not. Our streak ended, so
I'm sorry.
The Northman got no nominations for anything.
For what?
The Northman.
No,
I don't think he got anything.
Wow, that's a shame. That deserves to be nominated for something.
I love The Northman. It was in my top 10 of the year as well. I loved it.
Ooh, Gabriel LaBelle.
Gabriel LaBelle, Fablemans. He was great. Best drama series, Better Call Saul. I feel like Tom Brady right now whenever he does his pre-game routine. Let's go.
Or when he kisses his son. Let's go.
You obviously don't watch NFL football, guy, but Better Call Saul deserves it. This is going to be one of those shows where nobody, like, unlike Breaking Bad, I hope people watch it in the future and realize how good it was, because I think it's better than Breaking Bad. I think it's one of the best shows ever made. So
that's a lot of good shows on that list that it beat.
Yeah. And I'm gonna skip that one. Best director, Daniels for Everything Everywhere. Sure. It's I would have Spielberg for Fablemans is my guy, but Daniels for Everything Everywhere, not totally opposed to that.
I sneaky would have given it to RRR, but
oh wow,
just because to be able to handle that many different topics and things happening and make it a cohesive package, I thought it was very impressive.
From a directing perspective, I think I'd give it to Spielberg, just because there was a lot more, I feel like, for him to do compared to the editing team or the visual effects team or for all of that. But anyways, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, him or Austin Butler. I feel it's going to be Brendan Fraser at the Oscars. Kate Blanchett for Tar, my favorite performance of the year. Great to see. And then Everything Everywhere for Best Picture, which seems to be the front runner so far at the Oscars. We'll see what happens after BAFTAs. So
that multiverse, man. That multiverse. It's
surprise. So QC's over there like, what happened to Doctor Strange? You know, what happened
there? Didn't that just come out?
Didn't that come out like what happened to Captain America Civil War?
I'm just glad that there's like a good multiverse movie that came out last year.
Out of the two?
Yeah, out of the two, there was one that was great, and it's,
we're gonna move on now, unless anyone has anything to say that hadn't been covered.
I would just add, do you guys agree that The Northman not getting any nominations is a snub?
It's not the type of movie that would get nominated, so that's why I would say I'm not surprised by it.
I'm not shocked, but if I was the one behind the nominations, I would nominate it.
Like Toni Collette didn't. Oh wait, no, that's Ari Aster. But for Robert Eggers, The Lighthouse got a cinematography nom, but that's it. And The Witch didn't get anything.
I love The Witch. I think The Witch is my favorite of his three. So
I don't like The Witch.
Helmer, come on, dude. I'm sorry, some hot takes.
I love me some Vivitch.
You're doing so well.
Yeah, the Vivitch.
I'm just disappointed that Giacchino has not really gotten very much. Like, I just feel like the Batman score was just so great.
And it didn't get Oscar shortlisted. So
I still wanted him directing Blade, but that's another story.
Oh,
Matt Reeves?
No, Mike Giacchino. After he did the Werewolf by Night short or special.
I have not seen that still.
And then we do have one more big topic to talk about. I forgot about this one. We're going to talk about this one very briefly, but Cobra Kai will officially end with season 6. I'm a big Cobra Kai fan. QC, I know you are. Sully?
I haven't seen a single episode.
All right, so me and QC for this one.
I have something controversial to say about Cobra Kai. So I really enjoyed the first season, first 2 or 3 seasons. I really enjoyed. This current season, I don't know, man. Like over the second half, it just got to I just felt like I was watching like a soap opera, and it just was very. I don't know. The dialogue was weird. The fight choreography was super underwhelming. I kind of fell off. I actually didn't finish season 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like season 5 dropped in quality. I still thought it was really good though. I actually didn't. I was the opposite of you, QC. I hated the first couple episodes, and then for me it got better.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Terry Silver also, I loved him as the villain, so he was a big plus for me this season. But season 6, I'm actually really happy with this. I love the show, so I'm happy that they're ending it now. Obviously, with what QC said, and then also just the fact that they've really milked this. I mean, these are 3 movies that there's not a lot there when you get real deep into the nitty-gritty, and they've tried really hard. And with season 5, they tried really, really hard. So with season 6, I feel like this is the perfect time to end it. So I'm happy that this is the case. I didn't want it to be kind of dragged on for longer than it had to be. I mean, when you get to a point where they're like, oh, is Hilary Swank going to appear? From the next one. I'm like, dude, please, let's not go there. Or fucking Jaden Smith as whatever his name is.
This is one of those things where it was even though I haven't seen any of the show, I was surprised that they correctly made the decision to say we're done after 6 seasons.
Yeah,
there's no chance I thought that was going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I thought they were going to milk it, but good they made the right decision, and hopefully season 6 ends the show really well. And,
I mean, most shows don't even get a 3rd season, so it probably was already milked.
Sure.
But I'm glad that they made that. I do want to watch it though. I mean, I've heard nothing but good stuff. So
100%. We're going to get to our final segment of the show. We're going to speed through this all. We've been going long, folks. Buy or sell, which we're going to talk about all the smaller topics that occurred over the week of movies, TV, all that jazz. We're going to talk about if you would buy that news or sell that news, save it for a rainy day, perhaps. First, we're going to talk about Jared Leto. Him and as well as the project of Tron 3 are moving forward. Buy or sell, Sully.
No.
QC, you're the 80s baby in the room. Buy or sell?
I'm buying Tron 3, selling Jared Leto, but
real quick critic, Swanka, what do you think?
I mean, I'm not a fan of the Tron films, even the original. It's fine. I watched it once a while back, and I think I watched the remake, whatever it was, a couple of years, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever, around that time frame, right? Sort of
something like that. Yeah.
Thought it was pretty bad. So I guess I'm selling. I mean, I like Jared Leto, and I'm the only person who actually likes Jared Leto's Joker at least a little bit.
Well, that's something.
So I'm going to sell Tron, and I'm going to buy Jared Leto. And that
really what?
And that purple coat that he had.
Sully looks so depressed right now.
This is my opposite pick. Yeah, no, I. It's pretty funny how opposite of a take this is going to be, because I think that the last Tron is actually overhated and very underrated. Like, I really enjoy watching it. I mean, every time I've seen it, it's been like with a big group of friends for some reason, so I think that kind of adds to it a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know how excited I am about Jared Leto being in this. I will say though, Jared Leto's another guy that like always gets the short end of the stick for like, he gives his all in every role that he's in.
Agent. Pick better movies.
Literally pick a better agent.
He gives too much. I think that's the problem.
So I don't know.
Honestly, look, you can say what you will about Morbius. I don't think Jared Leto.
He wasn't the issue.
You also say what you will about.
Say I don't like when people say that. When they say Jared, I'm a big Jared Leto defender.
Me too.
I think he's a great actor. And when people say, "Oh, he was terrible," Morbius. Everything was terrible about Morbius, and I don't think that Jared Leto.
Dude, no one's saying like, "Oh my God, Matt Smith is awful." Morbius.
That was my point. So
yeah, like no one says Matt Smith is awful.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's because he was awesome.
He was. The dance scene was fantastic.
All right,
I agree.
I would like to say something. Fuck Tron, sell, and fuck Jared Leto.
Okay, so hard sell.
I hate Jared Leto. I hate him. All right, I hate him like New Englanders hate Ben Affleck. Okay,
what?
I do not like
him.
Ben
Affleck. So you love Jared Leto?
Right. No, I hate him. I hate him.
All right,
I hate Jared. Cheers. Let me say something. Let me explain this. Okay, this man in House of Gucci. This was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. All right, the way he looked so stupid with the dumb voice, and he's like, "It's a she." I'm like, why?
I
loved him to play Mario, not
I didn't. I loved him in Dallas Buyers Club. I'm more.
Then wait. You guys keep defending him. Then you got this fucking Morbius movie. That's fucking horrible. Don't defend it. Then you have.
I'm saying he wasn't.
Hold on. I'm not finished. Then you have Suicide Squad. This is the most abominable performance of the Joker. No offense, Micah. This is the most offensive thing I've ever seen in the history of cinema. I'm sorry. And here's the thing. People are like, well, what? It's the direction. No, because he did it again in the Snyder Cut. Every time I hear his laugh, it sounds
Lucas,
like
you're correct.
He's shoving something up his ass, going, like that is his laugh. It's disgusting. Okay, it sounds like he's getting a rectal exam. I don't need to hear that. It's the Joker.
All right, we're gonna move on now to the next topic.
I'm just saying I'd sell.
I'm gonna sell too. Megan 2.0 is coming out. I haven't seen the first Megan, so I'm gonna leave this on the shelf. But Sully, you've seen Megan.
I saw it as well.
Oh, you saw it as well.
Yeah.
I also saw Megan.
No, you
Mithrigan.
Really?
I love Mithrigan, and I'm looking forward to Mithrigan too. I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. I could tell that it was a rated R movie that was cut down to be PG-13. So I'd like to see, which is what happened. I would like to see if they put out an unrated cut. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was a nice update on the Chucky character, and like actually had a lot of interesting themes about just like raising a child and like the dangers of giving a child this automaton that in the child's eyes, they're looking at it as like this real thing, and like they're forming real bonds, and then this thing doesn't really know how to actually deal with tragedy, and there's some really good underlying themes in there that were like a lot deeper than I thought it would be. I thought it was just be like a crazy doll stabbing people, and it actually, had some nuance to it. So I'm looking forward to what they do with the second one.
Sully?
All right, here comes another opposing take to Swan, unfortunately. I was like excited for the movie. I thought like I knew what they were going for, but kind of like what Swank was talking about, it was so blatantly an R-rated movie that they cut down to get it in front of more people and get more butts and seats at a younger audience and whatnot. I think you look at something like, when it comes to PG-13 horror movies, I really enjoy like Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell. And that was a movie that I think was made from the get-go with that PG-13 rating in mind. So you can get like creative about the violence and the gore and still get that PG-13 rating. This was just stuff that they just cut out. They just like cut stuff out. They cut out the money shot so that they could get into a PG-13 rating. So you just had to like infer it in your own head, like what was happening, rather than they like, actually, you know what I mean, guy. And it was like one of those things where I was just like pretty unsatisfied with it after it ended. So I was like, I don't know if there's an option for this, but I'm going to sell if it's PG-13.
I'm going to keep it on the shelf. I haven't seen Megan, but I might buy this later. So I'll text you guys individually to let you know if I'm going to buy or sell this. We're going to move on now. Rami Malek will be playing Buster Keaton in a Matt Reeves directed TV series. Obviously, Buster Keaton, the famous silent film star. I'm going to buy this. I love Matt Reeves.
He looks kind of like Buster Keaton.
Yeah, I'm not huge on Rami Malek. I think he's a bit hit or miss. But given the right director, Matt Reeves, given the right project, character, Buster Keaton, and I love anything old Hollywood, so I'll buy it.
I'm going to buy this. He kind of does look like Buster Keaton a little bit. Pull up a photo. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. I think
they're both guys.
Yeah.
It's like Sully's.
It's like me and Steve Lacy.
Here's the thing. I think Rami Malek's a little, in my opinion, overrated. I hated him as scrawny Freddie Mercury. Like, he looked too thin. He looked like he already had AIDS the entire time. But even before AIDS, pre-AIDS Freddie Mercury, he looked like he had AIDS because he was so tiny and small. Okay? But I would have to say that I'm going to buy this because that's really cool.
QC, Sully?
Yeah, I'm going to buy as well. Matt Reeves has a lot of cachet built up from his past works, and specifically The Batman, which is one of my favorite movies in recent memory. And Rami Malek
2019.
Yeah, right. Rami Malek is fine. I've liked him in some things and didn't like him in some other things. But
that old movie, The Batman.
No knobs.
Hasn't that been added to AFI's list already? No.
It's in the Smithsonian.
Sully?
Yeah, I'm definitely buying this for all the reasons that were pretty much stated. Like, I love the old Hollywood stuff. Buster Keaton's such an iconic figure, and I think it'll be really cool to see how. I was going to say, it'll be really cool to see how Matt Reeves brings him to life, but he already was a real guy. But you know what I mean? Like, his iconic scenes that still, are sent around and so beloved today. I can see the Rami Malek overrated take a little bit. I think for me, when I was underwhelmed by him was probably his Bond villain performance, to be honest.
Yes.
But I didn't mind him in Bohemian Rhapsody or any of his recent stuff. Yeah, I didn't mind. Little Things kind of stunk as a movie, but he wasn't the problem.
One of my first takes on the League of Cinephiles, one of my bad takes is that I said The Little Things was better than Seven.
Oh my God! Wait, do you believe this?
So I have The Little Things at like a 7.5. I didn't think it was that bad. I actually really, really liked it. I have the 7 out of 7, but I watched it a long time ago, so I don't talk about it. I need to see it again.
You've 7 ranked as a 7 out of 10.
I saw it a long time ago, but yes.
Helmer.
It's bad.
There's no coming back from this.
It's really bad. It's terrible. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it.
But I am really looking forward to that new David Fincher on Netflix later this year.
Yes, very much.
That's gonna be great.
We're gonna move on now. Jason, we are
couldn't have picked a better picture.
We're getting
the worst Jason movie.
This is behind the scenes.
That's pretty much Jason.
a new Friday the 13th TV series will be hitting Peacock very soon with the main actress or the final girl actress from the original Friday the 13th returning. Guys, I'm going to buy this. I wouldn't say like I don't love any of the Friday the 13th movies, but collectively as a franchise, I think it's a really fun time at the movies. So I'll buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like with some of these reboots, reimaginings, I wonder what the thought process is behind doing a Camp Crystal Lake film, which I don't know, it doesn't sound to me like it's going to be
it's a
like
series.
Series. It doesn't sound like there's like Jason's going to show up. That's not the impression that I got from when I read some of the press, which was admittedly a while back. So it's like, well, what's the point? Is it an anthology? Like, what are they? It seems weird. Like, why even put it in the Friday the 13th universe? Why not just do it in a spooky series? So we'll see. I'm going to buy it just because I am a huge fan of the franchise and I grew up with it. But reading the premise, it seems like an odd choice the direction they're going. But hopefully they figure it out.
Sully?
Yeah, I mean, I think guilty pleasure wise, like my Friday the 13th is probably like my favorite slasher franchise. I really enjoy those movies just as like horror slasher pulp. But like, I'm going to buy this for sure. I just am happy that like, I mean, I know this franchise has had a tough road with like all these like legal proceedings and stuff and like who owns the character.
LeBron James.
It's just like one of those things where this has been taking forever to like get new projects and stuff. Like I was thinking back about it and I don't think I was ever even old enough to see a Friday the 13th movie in theaters, even if it was like the reboot and whatnot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Cautiously optimistic.
Guy?
Huh?
About Friday the 13th.
Also.
I
don't give a fuck. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm sick of this nostalgia crap. All right?
Oh, God.
Enough. How about some original thought? All right? How about some new shit? Like a Buster Keaton movie made by Matt Reeves. How about something like that?
Yeah. And then Jack White, I don't know if you're new to the channel, but make sure to subscribe if you are.
Hello,
Hey,
Jack White. I think I know Jack White. I know a Jack White. I have a friend named Jack White. So if that's you, Jack, how you doing? Thank you for watching.
He's not the same person.
You should go follow Sully at Sully Streams. And
Thank
should
you.
go follow Swanka. Is that how I have I been pronouncing it wrong?
It's actually Swanka.
Swanka.
Yeah, I was gonna correct you guys off screen. you pronounce it both ways. Sully pronounced it correctly.
Well, I think Guy's been doing it on purpose almost because
you can. I love saying your name wrong. You could have you could follow Swanka at Real Quick Critic. He got rid of the V. All right.
We're gonna move on now.
But yeah, Jack.
Oh my God. Okay, so Antoine Fuqua is gonna be directing a Michael Jackson biopic.
Oh my God! Enough of these. We already had Alan V. Farrell. We already had Surviving R. Kelly. We've already had Leaving Neverland. Do we need another one of these fucking movies, guys?
I think this is.
That was such a hacky joke. I'm sorry.
Okay, so first of all, Antoine Fuqua. I'm not huge on Antoine Fuqua. I just think he's very
fine.
safe. He's fine, right?
Yeah.
He's a very safe director. I like Training Day, like 20 years ago. It's 20 years ago though. I think he's just a very safe director. He does a lot of just very fine movies. Nothing awful, but just nothing great either. I can't recall anything great he's done since
The Equalizer.
All right, well that's something. The Equalizer's okay.
It's
okay. It's no Training Day.
I love that franchise. I like Equalizer better than Training Day.
Oh. All right. You might be demoted back to Swanka now, after that comment. But I just think this is such a bad idea, man. I think this is going to be so bad.
I agree.
I think it's Michael Jackson's still a very polarizing figure. I think it's just, right now is not the time.
I know.
And I think whatever way they go with it, people are going to be angry. I don't see an actor who can.
Well, no. So
Michael Jackson. There's just a lot there, and I don't feel comfortable delving into that personally.
It's a very weird thing, the whole Michael Jackson situation specifically, because people are like, he's a monster, he's all this shit, and yet there was literally just this last year, a Broadway musical
Interesting.
look it up, And it's all about Michael Jackson. The person that won Best Actor at the Tonys was the guy who played Michael Jackson. So, I think people, I find it always interesting. There's certain people, there's certain groups, there's certain musicians and athletes. I would say usually people are a lot more forgiving on this kind of shit. I don't know why. I'm not saying I think it's very much not okay that we'll forgive pedophilia. But yeah, for some reason people are a lot more forgiving to musicians, and they need a new night. Thank you, Jack White, who might be my friend. But all I'm saying is I kind of think you're right. I don't understand why they'd make it, but then at the same time, if they could make a Broadway musical that's been selling, and getting sold out shows and about Michael Jackson, I'm sure this could do well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna sell it because I just think that's not right now.
QC and Sully?
I'm gonna sell. This is a classic example of they asked a question of can we, but they should have asked the question should we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just whether you believe the extent of what he did some stuff that was not.
He did sell that. Okay, he had the kids in the fucking room. Okay, hang out with kids, Michael Jackson.
Why are we still celebrating this? I mean, listen to his music is one thing, but
he's got amazing
new content, like an entire biopic about him. I don't know. I don't
want to see I honestly, who's gonna play Macaulay Culkin? That's my question. No, fucking around. But all I'm saying is, all right, sorry, I had to make that joke. But all I'm saying is that I think it's weird that you'd make one because we don't know what he specifically did. No, I'm not. But we can do.
This is what Unfiltered was for. Friends are made here.
We make friendships here. But I think here's the thing we do know. He had the kids in the fucking room. That's weird. All right. I don't want to see a movie about this guy and his fucking ranch, this little amusement park. He's a weird guy. All right. He's got great music, but we can all agree that guy was a fucking weirdo. And I don't want to see a movie about him. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell this as well. I just think so. One of the complaints about Bohemian Rhapsody, obviously, was that it was the PG, squeaky clean band's version of the story that they wanted to tell and have this whole thing celebrated and stuff. I think that would happen hardcore on this movie if when it gets made, in the sense that it would just try to ignore any controversial topics and maybe just celebrate his career. Which is not really something I'm interested in. But another thing I wanted to bring up, which is something that is wild to me, is I don't know if you guys ever pay too much attention to the blacklist of all those popular scripts that didn't get made into real movies, but are very popular. The most popular script on the blacklist for a long time was this movie called Bubbles, which was a movie that was set from the perspective of Michael Jackson's pet monkey, Bubbles.
Oh my God.
And it was I was okay, this must be a really good script.
The kids? Sorry, that was vulgar. We're gonna have to cut that out. This is a live show, but we're gonna have to cut that part. I'm sorry, I ruined your take.
Anyway, that's a sell. Goodbye.
I'm so sorry.
Hard sell.
I'm so sorry.
Hard sell. Maybe if it's the equalizer. Maybe if it's the equalizer for.
I'm still waiting for a Sinatra biopic, but I know they'd make that all clean and nice, and they'd leave out all the interesting shit, but
all the mafia stuff.
All the mafia shit. That's what we want. We want a mafia. We all want a mafia Sinatra movie.
Speaking of Henry Hill. All right, guys, we're going to end it for this fun episode of Unfiltered. Sully, where can everyone find you?
I'm on every social media platform possible under Sully Streams.
Jack White, take notes.
Yeah, Jack White. Join me over on Instagram and here on YouTube. And
Sully,
I promise I'll do everything I can to get a movie about GTA 5 made.
Nice.
I don't.
Swanka. Is that how I pronounce it? Did I do it right?
You got it right.
Swanka, where can everyone find you?
real quick critic on Instagram and TikTok. And same.
You have a TikTok?
I do.
Whoa. It's crazy.
I need to follow that.
Moving pretty fast.
All right.
A lot of quick content there, I imagine.
Yes.
Not a long form stuff.
Real.
All right.
That's why it's called the Real Quick Critic TikTok review.
Dude, this guy does not take his time. He's just down to write his review.
I'm so bad.
Everything QC does, like he sits down for dinner, he's out of there.
One bite.
This goes beyond movies.
All right, let's not. I feel like you're making a joke about something about premature ejaculation, and I don't think that's right. But you can find me. You can find me at Guy David Noel Comedy.
Quick Critic's gonna. We did this to Movies and Munchies last time, but QC's gonna have to change his name to the real state. No, what is it? The real well-timed critic.
You can find me at Guy David Noel Comedy, and you can find this entire channel everywhere at the League of Cinephiles. We have a TikTok now, which is because we're trying to get a little more hip, because we're trying to get some more subscribers. We have an Instagram which has more followers than the YouTube channel, which is weird because the YouTube channel came first. I don't know what that's about, but we have a lot here at the League of Cinephiles, and you can follow us up. And yeah.
All right, yeah. Everyone, take care. See you next week. Thank you again to Sully, for QC, Guy.
Oh yeah, thank you guys. Thank you both.
For everyone else.
Happy New Year, guys.
Ciao.
It's over.